Okay, I finished this extension. Let me zoom you in a little bit here. Let's see. I think that's better. Okay. I made this one last night first, and I went ahead and attached it. I took care to make me a special wispy end, and I'm not certain that that this loose hair will stay in. It might actually come out, but I tried to tighten it in there really good, so we will see. Anyhow, I attached this guy last night. As you can see, the purple right here is my lock. So it's weaved all the way in, at least down through here. And then the rest of it is the extension that I made. And it's nice. It's quite a long one. I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to get 2 full extensions from that little ponytail and that little ball of scrap of hair like you saw in the beginning. But I'm quite pleased that I did. So here is the second one. It's just like this one, except for it's just a little bit thicker. And actually, I might have made it a little bit too thick, but it has the little curl, one of his little locks, and I really, really hope it stays in there for at least a little while. I thought I would video how I put them in, since you now know how I make them. And let's get started. This guy is the one I put in last night, and we're going to put the other one in here. So they're going to be neighbors. So this guy's going to go in about right there. And if you can see how they are going to lie, about right there. And my other extensions, this one is my youngest daughter's, and then this one is my boyfriend's beard. So they're a bit different lengths, but so is all of my hair, so that is not going to make much of a difference. But what you will need this time, instead of just the crochet hook that we used to create the locks with, is you're going to need a pretty strong comb. I guess you probably wouldn't if your locks are pretty new, but mine are a year old and that's thick. I already started brushing out my ends that had mostly blunted themselves about like this. But you're going to need this loose hair at the end to tie into the loose hair at the top of the extension. So you're going to need to brush out at least, an inch or 2 worth of your locks. And as you can see, this one is pretty thick. It's hard to even get the comb through there. And my comb has survived quite a few combings so far. But you can even use a fork. If you were pulling out your locks for good, you could put conditioner or coconut oil or something like that to help you with this process. However, if I did that, then the oil would prevent me from attaching my extension and defeat my purpose here. So you just have to kind of go through it and try to get out as much as you can. And personally, you're gonna rip out some hair. I save these little bits of hair. I don't know if you saw my other video of what I do with it, but save your little bits of hair because you can always use them to patch or fill something that might be thin, a weak spot on a lock or anything like that. So save your little bits of hair. It's your own hair. It's great. Well, I guess it could be your own hair. You could also do that with your extensions too. If you needed to brush out the ends, like maybe they were blunted and you wanted wispy ends, so you could brush them out, which would result in bits of hair like this. Save it. I have a little bag in my dread kit that all of this goes in. Might seem kind of weird, but there is a method and a purpose to this madness. Alright, crap. Which one was I working on? Oh, I hope it was. Nope. This one, yes. And if you get your comb and you can grab a little bits at the end and kind of pull them down, that kind of helps you comb them out. And then kind of go sideways just like normal. But you're basically picking some of that knots out. And yeah, you're gonna break a few. That's inevitable, but do what you can to break as little as you can. Okay, well, I think I have enough of my lock combed out to be able to attach the other one, my extension now. As you can see, it's about an inch and a half, an inch and 3/4, something like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your extension, the top of it where it has the loose hair here, you're going to pull it apart just a little bit. Don't pull too hard or you might be pulling out some of the hairs from the extension. Since this isn't all one length, it's different lengths, you don't want to pull at it much because actually some of it might come out until it gets all locked in there really good and starts to mature. Then you wouldn't have to worry about it. But right now, while it's still squishy, most definitely you need to be careful from pulling any hairs. And that goes the same for trimming them. I would not recommend trimming any of the like little bits like this that come out. Anyhow, we did a great job on this one. If you can see, let me get it to focus. Definitely a nice, good, strong dreadlock. So you get your, where'd it go? Your lock after you've brushed out some of the end here. Got like a knot there. Okay. And separate it in two. Take the extension and separate it in two. And then you're going to basically butt those guys right up together. And you'll pinch to hold on to your own hair plus the extension. Leave the extension ends just right up there at the top. Now we've got it held like this. This is when you're going to take your crochet needle and hold it basically just like this, because you're going to slide it back and forth like this, your finger, as you're pulling out some of the hair from the extension straight through to the other side. See if you'll see. I'm going to do this. I'm going to stick the needle all the way through. I'm going to place my thumb a little bit back here in the back, and I'll try to do it without my thumb there so you can see, and then just basically pull it through to pull a little bit of the hair out on this side. You're going to do that all throughout where you have this purple. So I can pull it back down, it kind of slipped. And then basically I'm going to weave this purple all throughout this one. So my goal is to put the hook through, grab some purple from this side and pull it over to this side, and from this side and pull it over to this side in random places all around the lock, because you're going to do it and you're going to spin it, you're going to do it and you're going to spin it. You'll see. We butt them up together. We pull down our purple and we'll just straighten up the top. We're not going to connect it just yet. So here we go. And grab some purple hair, pull it through. And grab some purple hair, pull it through. Just like that. Go in, grab a little purple, and pull it through. Now you're not yanking, you don't want to rip your hair, you don't want to break it. You just want to go in and pull some of that purple in through to the other side. Go all different angles and around. And we'll spin it around and we'll do the same thing for the purples over here. And if it feels like it doesn't want to go, don't force it, that's okay. Just get a different piece and keep going through, because like I said, you don't want to break your hairs, especially these purple ones, because they're what's really going to be holding your lock into place, this extension. So you want to be sure to be really careful with them. And it's okay if some of the extension pieces come through as well. It doesn't really matter, because you're going to get them all mingling together, so they'll be happy. And when you get a few of them through, you should be able to, the lock should be able to start holding. I mean, don't pull on it yet because it's certainly not ready, but if you'll see what we're doing, we're taking some of the purple from there and moving it around over there. And we'll keep doing that until it gets on there pretty securely, and then we'll work on getting it further locked into place. We're starting to get attached here. Don't worry about that it's thinner here and it gets thicker, because we're going to tighten this all up a little bit to kind of match. I made the extensions just a little bit thick, thinking I'd put them on my thick locks, but I already extended those, so oops. So we're going to just thin this out a little bit. But it's all going to match. It's all going to be happy. It's going to be neighbors with its little sibling. And they're going to look great. So I'm going to just keep doing this and then show you how to do the top part in just a bit. And you can also, once you get a little bit of it in and it's able to hang on its own, you can also find where some of it is, like here. Where is it? Okay. And then just go in with your hook through the dread, wrap it 2 or 3 times, not too tight, and then pull some of it through on this side. See how I did that? And then I'll twist the dread and go around and do the same thing and pull some of it through. That one, it didn't come through all the way, so we'll do it again. 1, 2. If you'll place your thumb right behind it a little bit, it gives it something it can drag onto, and then you can get some of it through. And see, we got some through that way. That's totally okay. Go down and do it again. And we get it coming through there. It's going to look all funny while you're doing it. You got hair on each side. But that's okay. Worry not. It will be pretty. Okay, so I crocheted in all of the purple. As you can kind of see, there's little bits of purple here, there, everywhere, all throughout. And give yourself a nice good tug. If it doesn't go anywhere, you have done great. Now, as you can see, I still have the bits from the top of the extension. Now, if your locks are not as mature as mine were, or are, you can just pull this bit right into your lock as well, and that is highly suggested. That's the best way to do it. And I'm going to try to pull little bits of it, but the rest of it you're going to see what I do, because getting the hook through this solid mass is really hard, and probably not very good for your hair. That's where you're going to get your breakage, and you need to avoid as much of that as possible. Otherwise, you're going to have really weak spots in not just where your extensions were, but actually just in your lock altogether. So that's why I don't usually crochet my locks at all. Just a tiny little bit once in a blue moon will I pull in some of the loose hairs up here. So that's what we're going to do. You might have to do yours the proper way, which would be to come in at an angle, grab some of this hair, and pull it all the way through to the other side. And just keep doing that as you're spinning it around, just like we did with the purple in the bottom of the lock. Anyhow, so I'm going to go ahead and in the small part here, pull in some of this hair by going in at an angle, grabbing some of this hair with the hook and pulling it through to the other side. See? I'll do it a little closer. Go through, grab a little bit, and pull it through to that side. See, we're getting this little nice little bit on this side. And we're just going to keep doing that. Pull it through from one side to the other as much as we can. Okay, so as you can see, I have halfway attached the extension to my lock, and all the purple is pretty much in there in little bits all around. It doesn't matter if it looks kind of patchy or whatnot. That's just going to blend very soon, and it's only so visible because of the color right now. If that bothers you, then you could always, color your extensions and then just a little bit of your own hair like I have done everywhere. Let's see. Some that's not extended. You'll see how much. This one just had a little bit of it done, but some of them are a lot more. As you can see, just the ends of whatever color you have your extensions, and that way it blends and you can't see, through it like this. For me right now, it does not matter, and I'm going to keep these extensions to be their natural colors, no matter what color I do the rest of my hair. I just wanted to give more focus and attention to them because these are cherished. These are my loved ones. These are my lovelies to be cherished. So maybe I'll color them at some point, but I kind of think I'm going to keep them like they are, which means I'm going to have to wait a while for my color to come out. I probably should have tried to strip it out of here before I put these in, but it doesn't matter. So in most cases, you're just going to take the hair that's on the top and do the same thing and sweep it in and pull it in, just like you did on the bottom, at an angle and upwards. However, my locks are really mature. They are solid. Getting a needle through it, even these tiny, tiny needles like this, getting one through it, most times you can, but you have to force it a little bit. But pulling anything back out with hair attached is very difficult, and you're definitely breaking hair at that point. So this is the hair that's going to have to hold your extension up, both of them. So you don't want to break anything if you can help it. So what I'm going to do is pull out, like I said, if your extensions are new, you can just pull it right on in. I mean, if your locks are new, I mean. But for mine, we're going to pull in what we can, and then we're going to put a little patch on it, and I'll show you what that is. And that's why we are saving our little bits of hair. So we're going to just pull it in, just like we did with the bottom, all the way through, grab a little bit, and pull it through to the other side. All the way through, grab a little bit, pull it in. And it shouldn't take you but just a minute to do this. And see, as you can notice, also, we did the same. We're spinning the lock around. But, looky there. This is why we need the patch of hair. I could have undreaded more of it. Man, that's really hard because my locks are so mature. So we get in what we can get in. And then well, this is the tiny little blob that I just got from the end of this lock anyway. So I'll just go ahead and put it back in. You kind of just palm roll it. And it doesn't have to be in a perfect shape because you're just going to use it to pull some hairs in to fill this spot and to make it stronger. We're going to need more than this, but I just had this right handy. So, because we just taken it out. So you just kind of wrap it around. And you bring little bits of it through as well. Now don't force anything. You don't want to hear a breaking sound, just kind of a little scratchy sound. Like that. If it pops, you're breaking hair. Not good. So we just spin it around just a little bit and get that little patch of hair in there. And it's in there. It's in there good. So this is why I saved that hair. This is my little trusty dread kit here. In it, you'll see I have pretty much, well, you won't see it because I got too much crap in the way. Anyhow, I have a little bag of hair. That's my own hair. I guess it doesn't matter if it's not your own hair anyway, because your extensions are probably not your own hair. In some cases they are, but regardless, I have this little ball of hair. It very much comes in handy. And this is from brushing out some of my ends when I was putting all of these extensions in to begin with. A lot of my ends were blunted. I kind of like that, and I kind of miss my blunted ends. But anyhow, so we have some hair. And in this case, I can get some that kind of almost matches, and there's some with little bits of purple, so it can kind of blend as it fades. And then of course I have some really purple ones. So I'm just gonna pluck up a little bit of this hair. I don't know, probably that much. Okay, I'm going to get this hair and kind of pull little bits of it apart. It's kind of stuck. Little knots. Well, anyhow, pull some of it apart. And then I'm going to palm roll it just a bit to where it kind of goes like this. And this is where you take your lock and you want it to kind of blend it in and fill that spot and strengthen at the same time. So here you'll wrap some more of that hair around. Turn your dread, wrap it, and then kind of downward angle it a little bit into the extension. And we're just going to do the same thing and crochet that hair in, and that's gonna help strengthen it and keep it from falling off. So we're just going to pull hair through gently. Do not force anything. So that one's a little hard, so I'm going to stop and just go in a different spot. And as I'm doing this, I am turning my lock. I should have it in there to where it's going to stay without me having to hold it now. Can you see what we have going on here? We're going to blend that in. Take extra care when putting it through the thinnest parts, because those are the ones that are holding you up, so you want to make sure there's no breakage there. And it's already adding to that thin spot and helping us to blend that in. See how we are doing now? I'm just about ready to pull in this top part, and then I think we're done. It's like a bump right here. I'll try to pull that in as best as I can. Nothing is going to ever be perfect, and if you're expecting perfect, then you have the wrong hair. Nothing about locks is perfect, and that's what makes them so awesome. Okay, and you also have to kind of worry about cats taking your dreadlocks. Jamie, what are you doing over there? Leave my stuff alone. We just about have it in. It's just hard to get anything to go through my really mature lock, so that's why we're taking extra care to just pull a little bit around and a little bit around at a time. Okay. Do you see that? Anyhow, here's what we... Stop it, Jamie. Here's what we have so far. Jamie, go away. Once you get it to how you would like, just give it a good palm roll. All the way down. That is really on good. And for me choosing to make one a little bit larger, it's not too bad. It'll start blending better. And if not, I will always add a little bit more hair right around here to the top to make sure that it blends better. But you know, look at that. This is how I normally wear my hair, and I think it's just fine. Okay, so let me scoot you out and show you what they look like. But that's it. That's all you do to attach them. I would probably, and I do, after I get them in, I spray them with a little sea salt spray. It's basically a salt water with essential oils and a little amethyst in the bottle as well. It was handy, and it should work just great for my hair. I can put it all along. I don't put sea salt spray in my hair much anymore because my hair is pretty much already locked. But now that I have the extensions, I'm trying to help them along a little bit, and I get them good every now and then. Plus, it just smells awesome. Something really cool. But thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. I mean, the whole process, it's a little bit time consuming, but it really wasn't that bad. I mean, it only took me like 30-45 minutes to create the lock, and then probably about the same time to add it, a little less probably. But time is totally worth it to have, you know, someone you love or something you care about with you all the time, and that was special to me, so I was happy to share that with you guys. Let me show you what they look like now. Let's see. Now I have 4 special locks. One from my youngest daughter, one from my boyfriend Spirit, and 2 from my youngest child, my son, with his little curls that I'm going to miss so much since he got his hair cut. But Anyhow, let me show you what they all look like. The window light from that window is a little bit bad. I got these a little bit on the long side, but had I shortened them, they would have just made, you know, maybe extensions that go about like here, and I might have got an extra one out of them, but I like them just the way they are. And these are the two extensions that we just made. And there's how they are both connected. They aren't going anywhere. And you just wash and dry them just like you do your regular hair. But I have noticed that with the donated hair extensions that I've made, even the beard one, they get very, very heavy with water. They're much more, what do you call it, dense? They're thicker than your other extensions. So definitely make sure you wash and dry them well, and every now and then you want to just palm roll, especially where they were attached, and then all around. Now, being a hair of different lengths with the extensions, they might be fuzzy quite often, if you can see. Do not trim that fuzz. Otherwise, you'll weaken the integrity of the entire lock. If it bothers you a lot, you can always get some aloe vera gel and palm roll, and that'll suck it in for a little while. But it's eventually going to come back out, and you have to wait for it to mature, just like the rest of your locks. Anyhow, I hope that was helpful, and if you have any questions, just let me know. See you next time. Bye.